All right, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Mass Reviewer back again with another review, and today we are doing a review for The Grinch. This is the final Illumination film that I have to review in the Illumination filmography as of the current date. And yeah, it's a rewatch for me, and that is all the background that we really have for this. So let us just get into it, starting off with the plot. So the plot of The Grinch is very similar. This is obviously an animated remake of the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas film that came out in around, I think it was like 2000 and, what was it, 2001? Was it? No, the 2000s, yeah. So it's basically an animated remake of the original film, which as the moment I have not yet reviewed. I was debating on whether or not the next film I review, which should be this one, or if I should just come back to that, but we'll see what that ends. So anyway, the plot of this film, it's based on, not exactly, it's not actually based on the 2001 film, it's based on, more so I would guess, probably the Dr. Seuss book. And yeah, so the plot of the film is that you have the Grinch, who is he hates Christmas. He is a staunch, Christmas, he hates all of it. It's not for him. Not that it's not for him. No, he has trauma from his childhood that he was lonely, he had no one to be with during Christmas, and from that he grew a resentment towards the holiday. Meanwhile, he lives near Whoville, which is like the most Christmas-like place that there is. Just all the Whos, they love Christmas time. It is the best time of the year for them, and they just go all in with the Christmas celebration, all of the decorations and stuff. They get into the Christmas spirit to the maximum extent that one can get into the Christmas spirit. And yeah, so the plot of the film is that you have the Grinch, who decides that he is going to steal Christmas because he thinks that it is going to make him happier. He thinks it's going to fix his childhood trauma, I guess, by stealing Christmas that he hates so much. And so the film basically centers around him planning and then ultimately stealing Christmas. There's also this second plot of Cindy Lou, who is this Who girl, that she is trying to catch Santa in order to tell him that her wish is that her mother her mother is a single mom and she works very hard, and so she wants her mom to be able to not be so stressed out, have time to herself, get some help basically, and just she wants her mom to be happy. So that is the second plot kind of going on. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward, simple plot, and then ultimately the Grinch ends up, once he steals Christmas, he realizes that everyone is, well, actually, before the final house that he breaks into and, like, steals all the Christmas decorations and stuff from is Cindy Lou's house. Cindy Lou ends up kind of changing his perception. He thinks that it's all about, like, kids, the only thing they want is presents, but then he realizes that Cindy Lou she wants something good for her mother, and so it kind of changes his perception a bit of the holiday. And then ultimately he ends up I'm forgetting the actual specific, it's been I'm going to be honest, it's been a few hours since I finished watching the film because I had some other stuff that I had to do, but he did after he ends up meeting with Cindy Lou, he ends up going back to his, oh yeah, he's about to I remember he brings all the presents and stuff, all the decorations to the top of Mount, I think it was Crumpet it was called. So he's about to drop it when then all of a sudden he hears all the Who's singing, and he realizes that they're still just because Christmas wasn't ruined for them and they're still singing stuff, and he realizes that he made a mistake. And so while he met Cindy Lou, she told him that basically close your eyes when you hear Christmas singing and it's like the greatest thing ever or whatever. And so he does that, and it makes his heart grow 2 sizes more, because they mentioned earlier, at the start of the film, that one of the reasons he was so against Christmas was because his heart was shrunk 2 sizes too small. So that is, so his heart shrinks to a normal, it grows to a normal size once again. And then from there, he ends up returning all the presents and the decorations and stuff to the Who's. And then the film ends with Cindy Lou inviting the Grinch to Christmas dinner, which he then attends, and he basically apologizes to everyone and thanks everyone for, he realizes that he didn't hate Christmas, he hated being lonely and stuff, and so he ends up having dinner with Cindy Lou and the rest of the people that were invited to the party. So yeah, that is the plot of the film. And I would say that the plot it's above average. I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10. This is honestly, a lot of the times when I do these reviews, I think to myself, if I'm usually the plot, it's very close to the final score of the film, and I would say that so it's kind of hard because it kind of feels like, okay, the first thing I raise the plot, but then the plot kind of sets the tone for what the rest of the film is going to be like a lot of times, because if the plot was good, that's usually one of the most important aspects of the film, for the actual stuff to be happening in the film to be good. But I think this is a good example of a film that the plot is not as good as the other aspects of the film, that I would say. So yeah, The characters of the film, you don't have a lot of characters. You have basically the Grinch, Max, who is his dog. I think his name was Max, if I'm not mistaken. The Grinch, let me see here, Max. I hope I'm not getting this confused. Yeah, Max, it was weird. I was getting it confused with The Secret Life of Pets, but no. So you have the Grinch, Max, his dog, Fred, who is a reindeer that the Grinch ends up finding and then having like a bond with kind of throughout the film. Cindy Lou, Bricklebaum, who's like honestly, it's just Cindy Lou basically after that. There's other characters, Bricklebaum, there's Cindy Lou's mother, Rupert, as well as some of the other friends of Cindy Lou. But yeah, it's basically just the Grinch and Cindy Lou. Those are the main characters of the film with a few other side characters. I would say I like the Grinch. I thought the Grinch was good. Cindy Lou, not as good as the Grinch. All the Grinch aspect was way more interesting than the Cindy Lou aspects of the film. So I'll give the characters like I'll go like a 6. I'll go like a 6 to a 7. Not a 6. A 6 to a 6.5. I would say. Wow, that meme is really taking my brain to places that it should not be taken to. Anyway, so I would say between a 6 to a 6.5, I would give the characters there between above average and good, and I would probably give it, I'll be generous, I'll say a 6.5. I think that the characters were good, I would say. Pretty, not that many, and they're pretty, they work, I guess, for what the film is trying to get out of them. So the settings, I really like the settings. This is honestly, out of all the Illumination films, I think this film has some of the best settings. Like, it looks absolutely beautiful. The snow areas, the actual Whoville and stuff, all the Christmas decorations, it looks very nice, the setting. And so I think I would give the setting, I'm just looking now at some pictures of it, it looks really, really nice, I would say. And so overall, I would give the settings probably an 8 out of 10, I would say, something like that. Just give me a second here. Yeah, sorry about that, just had to check on something. But yeah, we gave the setting, I gave it a 8 out of 10, I would say. I think the setting was great. It looks really, honestly, I'm hesitant to give it kind of maybe an 8.5, but I am going to be harsh. I'm just going to give it an 8. I would say it was great. In terms of the art style, I think, honestly, out of all of the Illumination films, this is one that it works really well for. Honestly, like, this is one of my favorite films in the Illumination art style. I think that the art style just fits, like, beautifully with the actual film itself in terms of the settings, in terms of the character designs as well. I think that it is a really good art style that works well for this specific film, and for that reason, I will give the art style an 8.5. I think I would say amazing. Like, this is my favorite. This is my favorite Illumination. The Illumination art style works the best, I think, with this film out of all the Illumination films. I would say it just looks very nice in my opinion. So, in terms of the comedy, I would say that, is it a comedic film? I think it is listed as a comedy, so that I did end up putting it as it is listed as a comedy. So, honestly, there's not really any great jokes, I would say. Like, nothing that made me really laugh drastically. I would say that, I would say maybe I'll go like I'm sad, but there was nothing like terrible. I'm just going to give like a 5. I would say the comedy was like not great, but there was nothing like that I hated from the comedy. There weren't like any bad jokes. It's just I can't really, nothing memorable, I guess. So I'm just going to give the comedy a 5. I would say not good or bad. In terms of the speciality, which is the Christmas aspects, as a Christmas film, I would say that this is, I don't really know how to rank Christmas films, to be honest. It's just how much I like the Christmas aspects of it. I would say 6.5, I guess. It was good. I thought that the Christmas aspects, like, I don't know, there's probably better Christmas films that I've seen, but this one, it worked well as a Christmas film. I would say a 6.5. I saw the original Grinch movie as well, and I probably like that one a bit better than this one, but I think this one works for what it is, I'd say, in terms of the Christmas aspects. In terms of the worst thing, I would say, honestly, the Cindy Lou plot, it just wasn't as interesting as the Grinch stuff. I didn't really, like, it was too basic. It's like there wasn't enough material to work with. It was like, okay, Cindy Lou, she wants to help her mom out, and then she works to try to capture Santa, and then it's just, I don't know, it feels like something that, like, they keep cutting to it, and it feels like, okay, there's not enough substance to work with there in terms of a plot, because she meets with her friends, and she's like, okay, what's the plan going to be? How are we going to capture Santa? And then they try out something to capture Santa. It doesn't work, and then eventually it does. She does manage to come up with something. So it's not as good as the rest of the film, I'd say. So I'd give it probably like I'm thinking like between a 4.5 to a 5. Honestly, like, I didn't really like it too much. So I will probably, I'll be generous. I'll give it a 5. I'll say, like, it was not good or bad, but honestly, I'm going to be harsh with that. I'm going to give it a 4.5, I would say. yeah, I didn't enjoy those parts as much as the other parts with the Grinch. So definitely a 4.5, I would say. Now, in terms of the best aspect, I think that the best thing I would probably just give the art style once again. Like, it is a very beautiful looking film, I would say. Yeah, this is like 2018 Illumination, so at this point, it looked like, comparing it to something like the Lorax that came out much earlier, this one looks much cleaner, much nicer looking, and so I would probably just give the best thing to the art style. I really like the art style in this film, so an 8.5. It looks very clean, very vibrant as well. There's like, obviously with the Christmas lights and stuff, it does feel very colorful, and so I would say, yeah, 8.5 for the art style once again. So any extra notes that I have? The music was very nice. I did like the music. I also forgot to mention that the narrator is Pharrell Williams, and Pharrell Williams, I would say, is a good narrator. I did like Pharrell Williams as the narrator, so, you know, I should have probably spoken that during the character bits, but yeah, I like him as a narrator. The music that he made for this film is very good. I do actually, I like the music for this film a lot, and so I would say that, yep, props to the music. I was thinking, they got Benedict Cumberbatch. At first, I was like a bit hesitant. I was like, okay, this feels like a, you know, it's a fine choice, but I was thinking in the moment, like, you know who would have been fantastic for this role? Hugh Laurie. Imagine Dr. Gregory House as the Grinch. I thought that would have been, like, I've been watching a lot of House recently. I'm still trying to, you know, it's a very long show. I started watching it towards the inception of this channel, I would say, and then it's just, I'm not even like, yeah, I think I'm on like I just finished watching episode 58, I'm pretty sure, so, you know, it's going to be a while before I end up reviewing that. So, but yeah, I thought that honestly, you get Hugh Laurie voicing the Grinch. He voiced like Santa in Arthur Christmas, and I feel like this would have been a much better use for his role. You know, playing that very vindictive kind of hateful, spiteful, sarcastic kind of character. I think that Hugh Laurie would have been a fantastic voice role for this role. But honestly, I thought Benedict Cumberbatch, he did you know, a fine job. I think it worked. It worked definitely. I was thinking that like Hugh Laurie could have done. Hypothetically, I feel like Hugh Laurie could have been a way better choice for the voice actor. But, you know, I guess I'm not going to, like, praise the voice acting. It's not some of the best voice acting I've ever heard, but I think the voice acting works, I'd say, for Benedict Cumberbatch, I would say. Let's see here. I do like the gadgets. The gadgets of the Grinch are very cool. You got the pistol, the net pistols I thought were very nice. The candy cane magnet, I thought that was another cool one. So a lot of very cool gadgets in this film. I do like, ultimately, the redemption of the Grinch. I think it's nice, you know, the final scene where he starts saying, like, he was... like when he apologizes to all the Who's in Whoville, I thought that was great. Like, he did it because he thought it would like fix his past or whatever. And then at the end of the film, where he does apologize and he says like, I was afraid of being lonely, and like I hated being lonely, and so like he's a better person now because of Cindy Lou and the rest of the Who's and stuff. So I thought that was a nice redemption arc overall for the Grinch. And I do like, I didn't actually, I think probably the first time I watched this film, I didn't end up watching it. I probably skipped the credits the first time I watched it because I didn't remember this part, but I did watch the credits this time around, and they do show like the Grinch actually, he does build these contraptions in order to help out Cindy Lou's mother, so with like all the work and the stress of her life, I guess. And so it was nice that ultimately you do see that Cindy Lou also got her wish of help for her mom, and then the Grinch was able to like also like part of his like redemption was helping out like the Who's. I guess I'm assuming now he probably works as like a mechanic or something. I don't really know how the economy works in Whoville, where I don't know how the Grinch would get his money to buy food or whatever. Yeah, no clue how that works. But anyway, it is. It's nice to see like the Grinch is able to help out now the people of Whoville, specifically Cindy Lou's mother, by creating contraptions to help out. So I thought that was nice. So yeah, that is all the extra notes. So I'm going to do the calculations. So King Crimson. All right, so it ends up coming out to about a 6.5, which would be good. And I think that's what I'd give it, honestly. I think it was a good film, honestly. I think it was better on... I don't know if it was better on rewatch. I think it was probably about as good as the first time I watched it. Maybe slightly better, I would say. So I enjoyed it. I would say it was a 6.5, I would say. I thought it was good. So yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, web series, anything that you want me to review, leave it in the comments and I will maybe possibly check it out. But with that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.